If you grew up in the 1950s, you know that Christmas dinner didn't end when the meal was over. No, it continued. For days. Sometimes for a week or more. Because in the 1950s, nothing was wasted. Nothing was thrown away. Especially not a 20-pound turkey and all the fixings. The leftovers weren't an afterthought. They were anticipated, expected, almost as important as the original meal itself. Because leftovers meant Christmas lasted longer, the abundance continued. The celebration stretched far beyond one day into the week that followed. You'd wake up on December 26th, the day after Christmas. The house was quieter now. Guests had gone home. The bright, chaotic excitement of Christmas morning had settled into a gentle hum. But the refrigerator was full. It was packed, containers stacked high, dishes covered in shiny foil or crinkly wax paper. Inside, a treasure trove: turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, green bean casserole, cranberry sauce, rolls, and pie. Everything was saved. Everything was preserved. Your mother would survey the contents, assessing the inventory. She'd plan the strategy for the days ahead. How to use everything. How to transform yesterday's magnificent feast into today's meals, and tomorrow's meals, and an entire week of dinners. She was creative, resourceful. This was a challenge she understood, one she had mastered. Leftovers weren't boring, not with the right approach. Breakfast on the day after was often the same as Christmas breakfast, maybe some leftover cinnamon rolls or a fresh batch of pancakes. But lunch was when the real transformation began. And it always started with the easiest, most classic creation, the cold turkey sandwich. It started with white bread, fresh, if you had it, but slightly stale was fine too. Mayonnaise, spread thick from edge to edge. Then came the cold turkey, sliced from the breast or pulled from the bones. Dark meat or white meat, whatever your preference. A little salt and pepper. Maybe a crisp leaf of lettuce if you had some in the crisper. And the secret ingredient for many? A thin layer of cranberry sauce spread right on the bread. That perfect combination of sweet and savory. The sandwich was assembled, then cut diagonally, or straight across, or be left whole. Sometimes you'd eat it standing right there at the kitchen counter. Or maybe you'd sit at the table with a handful of potato chips from a bag. Or with nothing at all, just the sandwich, simple, delicious, utterly satisfying. The turkey was cold but still so flavorful, still tender. The mayonnaise was creamy, and the cranberry sauce added that bright, sweet tang. This sandwich would appear for days. Lunch after lunch, and no one complained. It was a tradition. It was expected. It was just good. Sometimes, you'd even add a layer of cold stuffing to the sandwich, right between the bread and the turkey. Carbs on carbs, but who cared? It was Christmas week. The normal rules were suspended, but your mother didn't stop with sandwiches. She was a kitchen alchemist. She transformed. She created. Soon, a big pot of turkey soup would appear on the stove. She'd take the turkey carcass, what was left of the magnificent bird, and boil it with water, celery, onions, maybe some carrots. It simmered for hours, the bones giving up all their flavor, all their richness, until the broth was golden and fragrant. The last bits of meat, picked from the bones, were added back in. Noodles were cooked right in the broth, or maybe rice, a complete, hearty meal made from what might have been thrown away. You'd eat it with leftover rolls, buttered and maybe toasted in the oven. Then, a turkey casserole would make an appearance. Diced turkey mixed with cream of mushroom soup. It was always cream of mushroom soup from a can in the pantry. She'd mix in leftover vegetables, green beans, peas, corn. The whole thing was topped with a layer of stuffing, or mashed potatoes, or sometimes both. It was baked until it was hot, bubbly, and golden brown on top. Pure comfort food. It was different from the original meal, but it used all the same ingredients, transformed and made new again. And if your mother was feeling particularly ambitious, she might make a turkey pot pie. A flaky pastry crust, maybe homemade or from a box, filled with turkey, vegetables, and rich gravy, all tucked into a pie dish. Topped with another layer of crust, baked until golden. The crust was flaky, the filling rich and savory. It was a completely different dish, made entirely from leftovers. It was like magic in a pie pan. Do you remember eating Christmas leftovers in the 1950s? The turkey sandwiches, the soup made from the carcass, your mother's creative casseroles. Share your leftover memories in the comments below. We want to hear how your family stretched Christmas into the week that followed. The side dishes reappeared too, in new and interesting forms. Mashed potatoes were fried in butter until they formed crispy little potato cakes. Crispy on the outside, soft and fluffy on the inside. You'd eat them for breakfast with eggs, or for dinner as a side. Sweet potato casserole was reheated. It was still good, still sweet, even if the marshmallows were a little deflated. Stuffing was fried in a pan until it got delicious crispy edges. You'd have it alongside eggs or mixed with some turkey for a quick meal. The green bean casserole was reheated, too. Maybe not quite as good as when it was fresh. The fried onions a bit less crispy, but it was still perfectly edible. It was still eaten. Nothing was wasted. And the cranberry sauce, it lasted the longest. A spoonful with a turkey sandwich, a dollop on the plate with any turkey dish. Sweet, tangy, stretching through every single leftover meal until, finally, it was gone. The pies lasted for days. Pumpkin pie for dessert, for breakfast, for an afternoon snack. Cold from the refrigerator or at room temperature. With whipped cream if any remained, or just plain. It was still good, still sweet, it was still pie. Pecan pie, mince pie, whatever had been made for the feast, it was all consumed slowly, over days, making the sweetness of Christmas last. Eventually, the leftovers would dwindle, the containers would empty, one by one. The refrigerator would return to its normal state. The turkey carcass, after making its final contribution to a pot of soup, would finally be discarded, and there would be a moment, a small sadness, that it was over, that Christmas was truly done, that you were back to regular meals, regular food, regular life. But for those days in between, those days when the refrigerator was full and creativity reigned in the kitchen, Christmas continued. The abundance stretched, the celebration lingered, and you were reminded that in the 1950s, nothing was wasted. Everything had value, everything had a purpose. Even leftovers, especially leftovers. If this brought back memories of turkey sandwiches with cranberry sauce, soup made from bones, and your mother's creative casseroles, give this video a thumbs up. And subscribe to our channel. We're here to preserve the resourcefulness, the creativity, and the understanding that abundance meant using everything. Because the past never truly disappears. It just wraps up the turkey, stacks the containers, and makes Christmas last a little bit longer.